Now, every bit of motivation goes a long, long way. And in the dark underworld of rhino poaching, those fighting the senseless slaughtering of these endangered animals often find themselves battling well-resourced syndicates. It's a lucrative trade where rhino horn can fetch up to R1 million in the Asian black market. As the world marks World Ranger Day, workers at a private game reserve in the Eastern Cape are choosing to dedicate the occasion to those risking their lives to save the rhino. Ronald Masinda reports.
Poaching syndicates have the reputation as the most sophisticated criminals in the world, always a step ahead of law enforcement agencies.
So there's a few things. The one is, when they come in from, let's say, Mozambique, they come in on a false name anyway. So the passport they get is not actually their real name. We don't have fingerprints of them on record. They often have military background, so they know how to walk in the bush, operate in the bush day, night. They obviously also very desperate to make money. And yeah, there's different layers between, let's say, the poachers themselves to the couriers to the markets. It's just a way organized crime works.
Rhino poaching requires meticulous planning, and the syndicates can be ruthless. And as a result, workers and visitors at these game farms are required to always be aware of the dangers that could be lurking in the shadows.
Our jobs as guides, we're here to inform, we're here to interpret nature, especially as far as international tourism is concerned, as well as local tourism, and educate is our big thing. And I don't think that necessarily we are giving enough education out there as to the importance of rangers in our industry.
And then, as day suddenly turns into night, the focus on protecting the wildlife intensifies.
We're on a night patrol with the Shamwari Private Game Reserve anti-poaching team. They say rhino poachers come out at night, especially when they see a full moon.
The bright night sky provides poachers with enough light to track down their prey. The anti-poaching unit says they choose to use this method instead of torch lights to avoid being detected.
It's a never-ending war. Poachers keep coming. You can catch one group today, the next day another group develops, and then they come. It's a never-ending war, and it's a very challenging job.
Lunganyawe is part of a 19-strong anti-poaching unit at Shamwari Private Game Reserve. He says despite the dangers they face in the front lines, the job has been a life-changing experience.
It came at a time when I needed it most, and like I said earlier on to you, I couldn't afford to go to tertiary, so I came this side.
Shamwari Private Game Reserve has also invested in state-of-the-art technology and has highly trained dogs to help reduce the risk of their rhinos falling prey to poachers. And it is through these concerted efforts from private operators like Shamwari that could see the preservation of the endangered species for future generations to enjoy. Ronald Masinda at Shamwari Private Game Reserve in Pedersen.